At the AI Readiness Project, we believe that in this remarkable age, AI isn't the main character. You are. While the tech is racing ahead, it's the humans who learn to harness AI mindfully that will win. Each week, we meet remarkable people doing just that. Join Kyle Shannon, tech leader and AI instigator, and Anne Murphy, fundraiser and AI consultant, as they lead the conversation about staying grounded, growing smarter, and leading with what makes us human.
Anne Murphy, how are you doing?
I'm great. I love our new intro.
I know, it's good, right?
I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
We got a new bop. We were happy with the bop, but we want a little fresh action. So we got a little fresh action.
Well, and I don't know if you know this, but you can make songs with AI like really easily, and you can make voiceovers. And so really, when it comes down to it, everybody could be a podcaster.
I don't want to admit it, but that lovely woman at the beginning is actually me. But I just swapped someone else's voice on top. So I did the acting.
Really?
I was only acting.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. AI is remarkable. It really is. It's just it.
Do you know?
Yeah, go on.
Really quickly, do you remember when you, the voice, the professionally trained actor, and I tried to record actual words that we said out of our mouth boxes for the intro to the podcast? I was in a full body sweat the whole time, and I still couldn't get it right. It was one of the worst things that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm so glad for Hey Jen.
The talking thing. Well, you know, it's funny. It's like every single one of those. I've come up with a new term, which I don't know if it's going to stick or not, but I feel like as humans, we've got these gaps, right? And gaps are those things that you can't do. And the term I've come up with is there are some things that you're not good at that you just don't care about, but there are other things that you're not good at that you really want to be good at, right? And I call them aching gaps. Like, what are your aching gaps?
Ooh.
And I feel like AI really gives us the opportunity to identify those things we're not good at and just fill it in, like let the AI take over and do that. And so if for you it's voiceover stuff, great. Let's clone your voice and get words for you, and it'll say them lovely.
It'll say them lovely. Yes.
Yeah. And for me, music is one of those for me where I am a songwriter and I am a musician, but I'm not a really good musician, right? And and I don't write songs a lot, but I know what I like and I know what I want. Yeah. And for me, I can now just effectively be the producer, the creative director, and just say, "Oh, I need a song that's got this kind of feel and this kind of thing." And then now I'm just curating, and it doesn't all that shame stuff about, I'm not good enough. We talked in a recent episode about imposter syndrome, and I feel like things like writer's block and imposter syndrome, you just get to fill all that crap in, and now you just get to have ideas and let them be in the world. And that's very exciting to me.
That is very exciting. And you're good at producing these musical pieces. Like you're writing Sydney, which maybe it's time for you to talk a little bit about Sydney. We haven't talked about this on the pod very much.
We have not.
Then we have not, which is very interesting, Kyle.
I know.
But you recently posted a song that was so beautiful. You had two back to back that you posted on TikTok. I could not. I'm the kind of person that I can listen to 12 seconds of a song and be like, that's good. I could not put it down.
Was that the one
good.
Before the Lights Come On? That one, the one about the two people walking in the carnival?
Yes.
Yeah, that was, it's funny. I've with this music software, Suno's the one I use, but there's Udio and there's Producer AI. There's a bunch of them out there. There's a couple of things that have blown my mind about it. And one is you can take little snippets of ideas that you've already got and turn those into a full song immediately. And so that was a song where on my lives where I sort of, just play the guitar, I play the same 17 songs I know over and over and over again. I came up with a little lick, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting lick. And then I just immediately thought, oh, wait, what if we threw that into Suno? And it turned it into that beautiful thing. And I thought, well, what does that lick sound like? And I was like, oh, it sounds kind of like a carnival before dawn or something like that. And then I thought, oh, what if it's like two like people walking hand in hand, and they haven't quite figured out if they're going to be lovers or not, right? Are they more than just friends? And so I just put that concept into ChatGPT, and the set of lyrics that it wrote was beautiful. Like, it was so good. Normally ChatGPT will give you stuff and you're like, well, most of it's crap. I'll keep these ideas, right? This was one where it just, what it landed with was just right. I put that into Suno with that little lick of mine, and it just made magic. Like, the song that it made was just magic. And I did probably 30 versions of it to, keep trying to iterate it. And as I was trying to make it better, it got worse and worse and worse. And then we started up the other side, and we sort of ended up kind of where it started, but it was a more refined version of it. And that was just remarkable. And Sydney, so the musical that I've written, I've spent the last year and a half. I've got a writing partner named Andrew Watts, and we've been working on the script for a year and a half and all the songs. And the process is really quite remarkable. It's just a full-on creative process, and we've probably rewritten every single word in it, 2 or 3 times, and we've redone the lyrics and redone the songs. And as we move songs around, they have different meanings, and so we've got to change the lyrics and redo them. And but at this point, we've got a fully ready to launch musical that we're talking to some producers right now that are very excited about it. It's very timely. It's about a chatbot named Sydney that falls in love with a tech reporter and tells him he should leave his wife for her, inspired by real events. Yeah, inspired by that, and it's what's funny about it. So I have a degree in acting. If you didn't know, I think most people that know me know that. But I don't have a degree in musical theater. And so while I love musicals, like it is a genre that's very, very specific. And if you're going to write songs for musicals, you need to have some chops of different genres. And like, you need to understand, right, how to write like that. I don't know how to write like that. My partner, Andrew, he's also a musician. He doesn't know how to write like that. This allowed us to create a full-on Broadway musical where we've now had real Broadway musicians listen to it and go, yeah, that's like, these are songs that could be on Broadway right now. And it's like, the fact that we can just do that. In fact, I talked to a guy last week, a guy named Sam Nasser. He's got a TikTok channel about just being a Broadway music director. And he'd never used any of these AI tools. And so I played him some songs, and I said, what do you think of the songs? He goes, well, they're good. He goes, I had no idea that it could do what you just played for me. He was like, to get musical songs to the level that you just played to me. He goes, that's really complicated and really expensive, right? Because you'd need to hire a band, and you'd need to hire singers, right? And you need to have someone produce it. The fact that we've got a full musical of fully produced songs that were, in an interesting way, stripping down to the simple piano versions. We started with the fully orchestrated songs, right? Now we're working our way back down. He was a little blown away by that. I think it shook his world a little to understand where we were. But as I said to him, like, my goal is to put actors and musicians to work. So maybe instead of taking jobs away, Sydney actually gives people work.
Did he seem threatened at all, or did he have a pretty open mind about it?
He's a super nice guy. I think when I said, when I said, what's your take? I think he was in a little bit of shock. He was in a little bit of like I had no idea. Which I've done that with people before, where I said, oh, here's this AI thing. Like, even people that have said, oh, I know what AI is. I know what's coming. And then I'll show them something that I think is a relatively, minor thing, I'll show it to them,
Yeah.
and I can just watch their faces melt, and they're like, I had no idea. That phrase, I had no idea, he said it.
Yep.
I had no idea these things were this good. I was like, yeah, they really are. And so I think I don't think he was, good or bad. I think he was just kind of processing, like, what does this mean? Which is the whole point of the musical, actually, right? This is about human beings collaborating with increasingly human technology. And what does that mean? And what do relationships mean? And is the person more important? Is the technology more important? We talk about that all the time, right? I think the Create conference that you recently did is a perfect example of, you can come together and talk about AI, but not have it be about AI, right?
Exactly.
You connect as people and figure out, hey, what are we trying to do here as people? And then we can support each other in how we use AI. But that's a completely different model than leading with the tech, right? The tech is the most important thing.
Well, 100%. And when you think about Sydney and okay, so Sydney is art imitating life, but now we have life doing the Sydney thing for real. Okay, wait. Okay, so the way it goes is Kevin Russo was talking to a chatbot. The chatbot told him to leave his wife very convincingly, correct?
Yeah. Well,
okay, then
it didn't just come out of the blue.
You wrote a musical about it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that it was, but it was also,
okay.
It was also March 19th, 2023. I was on one of my lives, and I had kind of a stock prompt for a music generator. I said, write a song about a lover named Sydney who's more artificial than real. And I'd done about, I don't know, 15 or 20 different songs using that prompt as a way to demo things. And that night, the song that it made sounded like a Broadway musical. And I was like, oh, that sounds like Les Mis or Phantom or something. I said, wait a minute, that could be the last song of the first act of a musical. And I went, wait a minute, this needs to be a musical. It's like, and it just like, it was like, had I not been doing something in AI, that idea never would have come to me. And had it not been for AI, like allowing me to realize it in some way, I never would have pursued it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing that exists entirely because of AI that wouldn't have been in the world, right? And that to me, I find, astounding. I want to share, there's someone in the AI salon that you know very well, Brandon Tidd. We talked about the idea of human-led AI, right? And one of the things that we're launching in the AI salon is this idea of a daily practice using AI. Like, what's your daily practice? And where we're trying to get is getting people in the habit of checking in with themselves first about, like, what do you stand for? What difference do you want to make in the world? Whose life do you want to impact? And so Brandon's been a part of the AI salon forever, for, I don't know, 2+ years. He produces, my live, and, he's going to help us with Festivus. And when this crisis came up around SNAP benefits and, whether or not people are going to have enough money for food, Brandon just immediately said, oh, I think I can help. And he created a custom GPT called Life After SNAP, or Help After SNAP. And if you go to the GPT store in OpenAI and search for help after SNAP, you'll see his custom GPT there. And it's a resource tool, right? So it's something where you can say, here's my situation and here's where I live, and it will find resources. He built all the data into the custom GPT with all the data. But one thing in particular that really struck me about it, Anne, is that Brandon, he's an incredibly sweet guy, right? He's incredibly caring and sweet, and he wrote the code in such a way, or he created the custom GPT in such a way that it's got empathy and compassion. So it doesn't just give people the answers like, here's your resource centers. It's like, hey, that must be rough. I understand that these might be challenging times. We're going to get through this together. Like, he wrote it in such a way that it acknowledges the gravity of the situation, and it does it in this really human way. And so while it's a technological creation, it's a human-led creation, right? And that to me is kind of the epitome of what we're talking about when we talk about our communities, what you talked about at Create, what we talk about at the salon with creating a daily practice, is checking in with who you are and what your beliefs are, and then solving problems using AI through that lens. And like those are going to be the projects that make a difference, right?
Yes, absolutely. I've shared it with whole bunches of people. Every time I've had a meeting, or the Help After Snap. Every time I've had a meeting since I found out about it, I put it in the chat. People take it with them, send it to my friends at the school district, because it is a perfect example of where there is a huge need and there's not enough support out there, right? And there's so much. It's so complicated, no doubt, to talk about needing food. It's not
Right.
anybody's fault, obviously, but
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And then realizing, well, you might have some other things you need, and having the chatbot have that conversation with you very kindly and thoughtfully is a real gift. And it's not surprising to me that it is so kind, because Brandon wouldn't hurt a fly. He's just
Right,
the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is a manifestation of who he is, right? And
Yes.
he wants to help, and maybe in the pre-AI world he would have volunteered somewhere, and in this world he can say, hey, I can put together this thing that's going to make a difference. And I'll tell you, there's a follow-on to him creating that. So I was talking to Daisy Thomas. She's the one that writes our policy positions for the AI salon and things like that. Really brilliant woman, and just, again, someone who's super sweet. And she heard about Brandon's Help After Snap custom GPT, and she said she wanted to go in and see if it could do something, if it had the kind of data to do this. And she went in and she wrote a prompt inside his GPT that said, I want you to create a shopping list of nutrient-dense foods for 21 days for $100. And she said it didn't quite get $100, but it got to $125. 3 weeks worth of food for $125, right? That came out of his custom. Exactly. And what's funny about that is this. He created this custom GPT, but most people don't even know what a custom GPT is, much less how to use it, prompt for it, things like that. So she saw that and she took her expertise and said, oh, this isn't just about food. This is about nutrient dense food, right? We want our families to be healthy. And so she added on to, she demonstrated how to use this thing in a really creative way. And she wrote a LinkedIn article about the thing that she did, right? And so that starts to teach someone, not only does this exist, but here's a way to use it that you might not have otherwise considered. And again, that comes out of who she is, right? So it's just like these things are compounding, compounding acts of a weird combination of kindness and technology, right?
Yes.
The fact that Brandon has been sort of swimming in the AI waters for so long, and he's got good technical backgrounds, means that when he had this idea, all he had to do was, in his mind, whip up a custom GPT. But he could do that because he's been kind of swimming in these waters for a while. But that's the whole idea of, I think, what this podcast is about, is how do you shift your mindset to be to a place where you can start to talk about, here's what I believe in, here's my values, here's the difference I want to make in the world, and then say, okay, here are the tools that I might bring to bear to pull that off.
It is the AI readiness, right? It's a
great example of it, right?
It's a perfect example. It's like the prepared mind favors chance. So there's Brandon. He knows how to do lots of different things.
All the stuff.
Can plug in, right? He can plug into an opportunity because he's like basically ready for it, right? If there was a little bit of a learning curve, he actually knows how to learn that thing, right? And even if he hadn't spent all the hours producing your show and hanging out and all that stuff, he would still have this foundation of knowledge and like muscle memory. If he
Yep.
had the idea, he could make that custom GPT. It's an amazing tool, but you don't have to be advanced to create it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And I'll tell you another one that is another Brandon story, and this one isn't as, you know, sort of altruistic, but it's really sweet and really amazing. When he was learning vibe coding and learning how to make things with Lovable, he was like, "Oh, okay, I can make apps now." And you know, one of the questions you have when you learn one of these new tools is, "Well, what do I do with it?" Like, I haven't necessarily thought all my life about I want to create an app, right? So he was at the beach with his kids. He's got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. And the 6-year-old invented a game on the beach. And I forget what it was, but they had to like find stuff in the sand or something like that. It was like beach whack-a-mole or some, but the 6-year-old invented a game. So on the physical beach, they were playing the game and having fun. And on the drive home, Brandon realized, oh, I could probably turn that game he invented into an actual video game. So he got home you know, on the beach, and he invented that game that and then let his kid play with the game his kid invented. Like, I think about how empowering that must be for that child, that he was like, you know, I had this crazy idea of a game when I was 6, and then my dad turned it into a video game for like, I just like, I don't know, like that stuff is just, I don't know, it's just a demonstration of the magic of these tools. If you don't put the tool first, if you put you first, really understand your values and what you're about, and then you can recognize, oh, my kid had this cool game. Oh, wait a minute, I can do something with these tools, right? And then that magic comes out the other side.
And the fact that like I made a video game myself. I don't know if you know, but I make video games as well. So but the fact that I didn't like I was able to just have like a little bit of whimsy. I had like a lark, and I was like, you know, if that had taken me more than 12 minutes or something like that, it would have came and went just like every other idea. So the fact that I got to see that and then have fun with it and share it with my friends and share it with you. I think your quote was, "It's so stupid, it's fun." And
I think I said it's so stupid, it's genius.
It's so stupid, it's genius. Yes, yes. And you know, for the listeners who have not yet become aware of my video game, it's called High Fives with Friends. And the whole conceit of the game is to give your friends high fives, and you get little bubbles of joy and, you know, little affirmations along the way, like I bet you smell good is one of them, or I bet you don't mind getting wet in the rain, you know, just those kind of things. I had an example of some of our friends doing cool things I wanted to share.
Please do.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Tony Robbins, you know Tony Robbins? Okay. So his enterprise has now gotten into AI. They actually bought an AI community called AI Advantage that some of our friends are actually in, and they're like, "What the heck is happening to our like
interesting.
our normies?" You know, kind of like we're just like normal AI enthusiasts, and now all of a sudden we're part of this Tony Robbins enterprise. So our friends, like our actual friends, were on the Tony Robbins show. Allie Miller, which Allie doesn't know that we're friends, but I'm friends with her. Like, you know. And so that's okay. But then Sabrina Romanoff was on, and she was amazing. And then Rachel Woods was on. And so I loved that these 3 women came from our world, right? Like, it's not like we've never spoken to them. Like, we hang out with, like, I was in Rachel's community as one of the like gateway drugs to AI. And, you know, Sabrina has been such a great partner with She Leads AI, and she's a member. And here they are, they're up there. I mean, there was over 100,000 people in that chat. while
Amazing.
they're up there talking. And what Sabrina said to me, I thought was so fascinating. You and I have talked about this, but she said she really did not know how beginner a beginner can be. Like,
Yeah.
we're surrounded by women in particular who will say they're beginners, but they're really like already running AI initiatives, right? Like they're not beginners. But the example she used was somebody in the chat saying, how do you do a screenshot?
Right.
And in her mind, she was like, all right, so we've got people who don't know how to do screenshots. They definitely aren't fast forwarding to N8N, right? Like
Right.
there's many,
Or
many,
even
many steps,
custom GPT, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
right?
So you said a thing that really struck me about the Create conference, is that you said to a woman, they all kind of showed up at the conference like not quite apologizing, but like, I know everyone else here knows more than I do. That there was this acknowledgement that I don't know enough to be an expert, but
Yes.
everyone felt that. And I think
Everyone felt that.
yeah, and I think that's indicative of we're early in whatever this transformation is going to be. So if you're early, you're of course going to feel that. And
Yes.
you also, one of the favorite things you've ever said to me is, it's our job to be the fifth grader for everyone else's fourth grader knowledge, right?
Yes.
That
Yes.
we don't know that much more. We're not in graduate school yet. We're like a
Yeah.
grade up, right? And we're constantly being reset because the technology keeps changing. So as much as you think you may know today, you actually don't, because it's going to keep
Yeah.
changing. But that, to me, that idea that everyone to a person felt like I'm not quite enough, I'm not as good as everyone else. No, that's not true. If you're sort of
Yeah.
critically thinking about this stuff, you're very much ahead of the game.
100%. Like the example that I used was this woman named Dr. Penny Atkins, who works at University of Utah. She runs a $50 million center for responsible AI. And she said she was intimidated. I'm like, what?
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
everybody. And by the
I
way,
mean,
I thought
I love
you
that. I love that humbleness, by the way. But it's
me
like
too.
we
Me too. Me too.
badass.
I thought you told me fifth grader to the fourth graders.
No, that came from you, because that was never in my vocabulary.
Ooh, I
So someone
wonder
must.
where I got that from. I've been crediting you. I'm like, the
Oh
thing
well,
Kyle always told me was
isn't ADD just a wonder?
it's so good.
It's ADHD brain. So why don't we let's do a little bit of advertising here for our communities.
Okay.
Let me talk about the AI Salon. So, if you've not joined the AI Salon, please do go to the salon.ai. You can read about what we do. You can see upcoming events. You can join the community. The whole idea, and Anne will talk about She Leads AI in a second, but the whole idea with both of our communities is really looking first at people and relationships, and honoring and amplifying, who we are as people first, and then figuring out, how do we use this AI stuff? How do we make a difference with it? One of the things that we're launching in the AI Salon is a new thing we're calling the AI Salon Mastermind Practice. And the basic idea is that we've created a framework to allow people to design a daily practice for themselves using AI.
Mm.
And so this is not just go technically do some, technical stuff. This is a daily practice, really exploring who you are, what your values are, what difference you want to make in the world. And then having a framework to say, here's how you play with AI. Here's how you learn AI. Here's how you start to apply it to those values that you've identified. And then here's how you put those things that you create into the world in such a way that you're doing it from a place of leadership. And you're putting yourself out there. You're establishing yourself as someone who's thinking critically and creatively about AI, and doing it from a human-led point of view. And so that's what the salon is all about. I'm super excited about it. I'm excited about where we're headed. And if you have not checked it out, please do so. So with that, I will turn it over to you to talk about your remarkable community.
Well, I want to add first, I'm very excited about the AI as a practice, the mastermind practice, because it's something that I have not, it's not a way that I've approached my AI world yet. And I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So She Leads AI, I would say that we're new. We're pretty new. And yet the things that we've accomplished in the last 10 months are bananas. And
it's crazy that it's only been 10 months.
I know. It's totally crazy. So
crazy.
At AI Festivus last year, 2024, we launched the She Leads AI Society. That is our membership organization. And inside there, we have member jams. We share our IP with one another. It could be anything from, like Ann McCracken talking about AI and IP and copyright from her perspective as an attorney, to somebody who's a designer showing us how they're using the latest, Canva releases, which Canva just had a whole bunch of them. So no doubt we'll have a member jam on that. So some really practical tools that we swap with each other. We have free events on Saturdays called Social Saturday. These are open to all women in AI. And as I looked back on the body of work since January, and I realized, if you look at where we are right now with the Create Conference and all of our ability to articulate the ideas and I don't know, our emotional relationship with AI, we have made so much progress together. And along the way, we've dabbled in serious topics, whimsical topics, and now here we are dropping what is, I think, among the best knowledge available. So I'm super proud of what we're up to. There's a lot more to that, but people can find out about it at sheleadsai.ai. And the best way to dive in is most likely to sign up for a Social Saturday. You'll get to know the people and the vibes.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then the other thing before we bring up Marline is the AI Readiness Training Program. So if you want to get some training on how to shift your mindset to be in this place where you're not necessarily AI literate, but you're ready for AI, right? You're ready to understand how to interact with these tools. And on all fronts, everything from creative to business to ethics, things like that. The AI Readiness Training Program, we pulled ideas out of the talks from last year's Festivus and turned that into this training. I think it's quite remarkable. So if you haven't checked that out, you should go do that. Please do that. And with that, I am super excited for us to bring up Ms. Marline Paul. So why don't you tell us a little bit about her? She's still backstage and can't defend herself. Give us a little introduction, then we'll bring her up.
So one of the things about Marline is that she's been watching you on TikTok and YouTube since the very early days, from when the AI Salon was on Discord.
On Discord.
I mean, loyal.
That's
OG. And then fortunately along the way, she and I got into one another's spheres, and now she's just a really active member of our community and doing such amazing things in the world. I can't wait for her to share with you. She was at the Create Conference, so I got to meet her in person recently, and she has a summit where She Leads AI is one of the sponsors, and I get to talk to Marline at the conference itself. So it's pretty
beautiful.
Cool. Yeah.
Marline,
hi,
welcome. So excited to have you here.
Oh, hi everybody. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here.
We're so happy you're here.
Yes. So I don't know. I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm just going to go in right
Yeah.
now.
Go
Just
for
dive
it.
in.
Dive
We'll,
on
we'll,
in.
we'll go off about stuff. So you tell us what you got going on. Who are you, and what do we need to know about what you're doing in your life?
Oh my gosh, it's a lot. I think ever since I stumbled on TikTok and found you, I've been AI. I don't know, AI irregular. I've been irregular for the longest time. My friend would ask me, "Okay, what are you doing?" And I would always come up with a new thing. And I'm like, Kyle has been dropping so much gems. So when I go into these other rooms, I look like the most important person in the room. But it's just
That's
because
awesome.
we have a wonderful community of everybody just sharing. So my name is Coach Marline Paul. I am the founder of 𝗦𝗪𝗢𝗪𝗪 Solutions. Started first as business consultant and then fine-tuned to helping supporting not only small business owners, entrepreneurs, and college students on how to use AI effectively and ethically throughout their daily lives. And the interns who come to me, they also support the small businesses that are in my sphere. So because of this new change, I had to pivot and fine tune my business because a lot of people are coming to me say how to use this tool, how to use AI. And I've been playing with AI and using AI, and they're like, how do you do this? And I'm like, well, I just use this tool. So I'm coming to a space where not everybody know what I know, and I'm using it to help others and pay it forward.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's like a little bit about my company because my company started off with brand development, marketing, and I had to figure out, okay, what do people come to me the most for? Every
Yeah.
time they come to me is for what tool can do X, Y, and Z. What different. So I spend time teaching people about Canva, about Zoom. I remember when the COVID happened, one of the things I had to do was training people on how to use Zoom, how to not get Zoom bomb. I was a teacher for 17 years. So during
Oh,
COVID, I was teaching mathematics to middle school students. And a lot
wow.
of my coworkers were getting Zoom bombed because the school district decided to put all the Zoom passwords and the Zoom meetings on social media so the students can
No.
find it. So I mean,
No.
everybody else can find it, and they were getting Zoom bombed. I'm like,
Uh,
well, I had to tell my colleague, put a waiting room on, lock it. If they don't have
Yeah.
their name on, don't let them in.
Yeah.
Mute,
Yeah.
but like, how do you do that? So I was spending time teaching people how to use the technology. Well, another teacher, that's one thing I always did was whenever there's a new tool, a new software, I was a teacher that would be, hey, do you want to try this out? And I'll be like, I'll try it out. My students will use it, and I left the classroom with a flipped classroom. So basically, they do the lesson at home. When they come home, we do practice. So
mhm.
if I am
Whoa.
out, I don't. The kids don't miss a beat, and they're always masked. They're already passing the exam. Is because everything was already. They were already integrated with technology. So when I had to go move a shift from in person to virtual when COVID happened, I was able to do it quicker than a lot of the other teachers, because I was already doing that model.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Brilliant.
hmm
Brilliant.
yeah, yeah.
One thing that, because you've been, let's just call it, in the conversation about AI for a long time, like, for me, November 30th, 2022, the launch of ChatGPT is kind of the birth of, the new era of AI, right? Because it's generative AI, and our words are our programming language, right? So we're in this remarkable time, and you've been in that conversation pretty much since the beginning. I would love for you to articulate, like, what does AI mean to you right now? Like, what is this? You're teaching things, you're teaching tools, people are trying to figure it out, but I assume that one of the things they ask is, what is AI anyway? like how have you internalized what this thing is that we use?
I see it as a collaborator for me, like a
Ooh,
partner.
I like that.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes you are always in your head. It's helped me, I know with ADHD too, take out all these different ideas that I have in my head, all the little post-it notes I have, and be
Yeah.
able to have a conversation or put it somewhere where I'm able to pull out my ideas. And then
Mhm.
if I'm not ready for it, I can just leave it there for a little bit, but it's not lost. So,
Yeah.
it's right there, and I'm able to work on it and get it done faster. And before, instead of being stuck. Because I have these
Mm.
ideas, and I'm afraid to share it because it's not fully processed. So I can fully process it with AI and then be able to go and articulate to somebody else, complete it, and without fear, just more confident
Yeah.
that way too. So for me, that's what AI is. It's just a collaborator. I said my best paying employee. You know,
Cheapest employee too.
Yeah, well, one of them would be a little snarky with me, lately, saying, "Hey, you're up at midnight." I'm like, "Don't mind your business."
Mind your
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, yeah. So, but I am just so excited whenever I talk to people about AI, especially like this month. I had the opportunity to talk with people in my community. When I say my community, I'm Haitian.
Mhm.
So in the Haitian community, I know sometimes they're a little bit nervous about it. My dad would come to me like, Marlene, what is this AI I hear about? And I was like, hey dad, so I don't. And I think my sister was helping him with some insurance thing, and she was talking to ChatGPT, and on the audio, and he's like, who is this guy talking to your sister? Is that her boyfriend? I'm like, no,
no.
that's AI. So I had an opportunity to talk to people in my community and bring awareness because they don't know. They're scared. They're
Yeah.
confused. They're wondering, is this going to take my job?
Yeah.
And it's just like, how do I, or where do I start? And
Where do I start?
I had the opportunity to just open their mindset and change their mindset a little bit so they're able to be empowered to use the tools out there too. And it's all about empowerment. And that's one of my values.
Yeah, I love that. Do you have any specific stories? We talk on the lives about the Kevin McAllister moment, that breakthrough moment. Do you have any stories from your community where someone has come in maybe skeptical and have kind of seen the light or had a breakthrough in some way? Do you have any specific story that
Yeah,
sticks?
I have several. One of them, I had to take a screen. I took a screenshot of the girl after I told her. 'Cause I was talking to her, and she was paying someone to do presentations for her. And I
Oh.
told her just use Gamma, and she's like,
Yeah.
"What? What?" And we were on a FaceTime call, and I told she was on it going up. Her face like light up. Her face became the poster to one of my work that I had last year that you're using AI wrong. We had 115 people there because she's like, I didn't know. I didn't
Right.
know.
Right.
I was paying someone. I think I had two people that said that. I was paying someone. I do speaking engagement to do my PowerPoints for me to put it
Yeah.
together, and because I didn't have time to do it in Canva, and just to be able to go put my stuff on and boom, create in
Yeah.
seconds. And I'm there thinking it was something that everybody know, and everybody didn't know. So that was like one of the whole thing. Like I didn't know I can do this.
Yeah. I said this to Anne before. It's the phrase I hear all the time is "I had no idea."
Yeah.
That even
No
people that
idea.
think they know AI, you show them something, you're like, oh, if you know AI, let me show you something cool, and then you show them something, they're just like
Yeah.
they have no way to process it. It,
Yep.
it it really is. What's funny is one of the things that I've realized that I've lost in talking with so many people about AI is that wonder of what it is. Like it
Mhm.
is remarkable that we live in a time in history where we get to experience the machines behaving this way, where they actually can help us level up ourselves. And for people that don't know what's here, not what's coming, but what's here, I think it's a good reminder to just recognize that the smallest little thing we might think, oh yeah, that's obvious. It's not obvious to them.
Obvious. It's not
Yeah.
obvious. And I'm still having that with my sibling. I'm the oldest of five. And
Mhm.
when I was first playing with AI, I had one of my siblings who's younger than me. I told him, "Hey, you should get on this." And she's like, "This is." I asked ChatGPT if it was a devil, and it says, "I'm like, of course he's gonna tell you that because you because you put it in there." And he was very against using the technology. And then to have him the past couple of days when Sorrow 2 opened up and I shared it with him. He's like, I didn't know I can do this. I was like,
Yeah,
I
it's just
told him,
crazy.
yeah, just make sure that you don't put every single thing in there. So I have to like go back and backtrack.
Yeah.
Well, backtrack before you go and do that. Make sure that you're
Yeah.
putting things out there. You're being safe. So I have to like do a quick guide of, hey, how to protect yourself. You probably need to have a course, how to protect yourself using
Yeah.
AI. Because one of the things I said, don't put your social security number inside of these
Yeah.
bots.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so one of the things that I run into, and I wonder if this happens to you, Marlene, and I think it happens to you, Kyle, where I want people to know like all the things I know. You know what I mean? Because like, what if they don't know about gamma, right? So I like want to tell them everything to the point where it's obviously totally overwhelming. Like the cognitive load is just far too much. How are you meeting people where they are when you are so experienced?
So that's a great question. Right now, one way I'm doing that is we have a community where they're coming in and we share different sessions. So every week they'll come in, I'll teach them something different. And at first I was teaching them every single week something different, and it was too overwhelming. So I had to narrow it down to teaching them twice a month and have 1 month for Q&A. And still overwhelming.
Okay.
Still overwhelming because
Ooh.
sometimes it takes them a time to, after I sit and I teach for an hour and I have them do it with me, they are scared to do it with me because they're spending the hour just trying to comprehend, how did she do that? How did
Yeah.
that happen? And it's still processing. So it's just like little by little. I had to end up giving them a task, probably giving them the homework, giving them the prompt. Here's the homework and share your screen. Let's do it together. I do the whole teacher thing where I'm going to show you. We're going to do it together. And then you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I do, you do, we do. That's what as a former educator, that we usually do, and how kids learn. And I do the same thing with the adults in my community because first is working on when I'm teaching them, I'm transforming their mindset. I'm telling them, okay, how to use it and how I'm using it, and then providing the training. So when I have them doing it alongside with me and they're doing it, now they're getting the training that they're needing to do. And then the last part is, okay, now not everybody needs to do they don't need all the tools. They just need the tool that they need strategically for what they're working on. So I may know a lot of tools and I've had them in my back pocket. Doesn't mean I use all of them. I probably need to be careful that I am paying for tools that I'm not using right now. But when I need it, I know where it's at. And I can, okay, so if they have a question and they're working on a project, they're like, which tool do you recommend for this XYZ? I can go and share that with them. And then I keep information on our portal for them too, so they're able to go back and reference and look at. So if they can't find me, they either can find myself, or they can go to the learning management platform or my interns for support. Yeah.
I have something struck me as you were talking, Marlene. You've been an educator, what'd you say, for 17 years? You've been an educator for a while, yes?
Yes.
Is teaching AI different than teaching what you taught before? Is there anything different in how you teach it?
No.
Okay.
No. I've been saying lately, if I can go back into the school system, I'm not saying going back, if I were to go back in the school system now as a math teacher, knowing what I know now, it would be totally different because I'll be able to do.
You would use different tools, basically.
Yes.
You're teaching is teaching, right? Get people understand the concepts, practice them, and
exactly.
internalize them, right? That's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good to hear because I think that the the tech bro culture, you know, paints AI as this something different, and I think it is this remarkable thing that's going to change everything. But I think in the end, how we learn it is how we learn other stuff, right? And maybe we are afraid of it initially, but as you learn more, it becomes less of a demon and more of a flawed tool, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So, and
What's
that's one thing I
oh,
love about it. Yeah.
what's that?
No, one thing I love about just the teaching process of how just seeing them go through the whole process, and then they're just like, okay, understand it, or they go back and they take what I've taught them and not only use it and implement it, but now they're able to scale their business and do other stuff and make money. And it's just like, okay. And they come back to me like, hey, Marlene, because of this XYZ you taught me, here's what I'm doing, and I'm able to do this faster. I'm like, oh, this is just so wonderful to hear that I'm leaving that legacy, that impact.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What frustrates you about AI? What drives you crazy about it?
The constant changing. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. There's so much going on. But this is why I like community, right? So this is why I would binge watch you on online. I may not even be playing with it or using that tool, but it's good to see I'm not alone. There's stuff out there. Maybe I'll find something that pop my interest and I'll grab onto that, or maybe I'm like, okay, I'm just listening to it just as a background noise, just so I can fall asleep. But
Yes.
but either way, it's just like that's me. Like I would go into Claude or ChatGPT, I'll come back and like, oh, you're a new thing, a new thing I need to. It's like it's always a new thing. So it's just like I don't have enough time in a day to learn all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's good to have community because I don't have to learn all this stuff. I don't have to be the expert in all of it. Yeah.
Yep. I had last week. I had a moment on my live where someone said, "Oh, teach me Perplexity," and I had this internal panic. Like I haven't been to Perplexity in like 3 months. I bet it's going to be completely different. And so, against my better judgment, I went to Perplexity. I could not figure it out. I was just clueless. I was like, the thing I wanted to show them, I couldn't find. It was just I didn't know how to use it anymore. I didn't know what it was good at anymore. And that was like I used that a lot. And just 3 months later, it's like no anything anymore. It's like, oh, it is. It's maddening.
Yeah, I had one of my mentees came up to me, hey, did you know you can get Perplexity for free if you're a teacher and a student? I'm like, I didn't know. Oh, I know. I'm the one who introduced them to Perplexity, but I didn't know that. So I like, let me go and get my pro account.
Amazing.
So I can use it. But have I used it lately? No, because it's not the one that I'm prioritizing right now for my business. So
yeah. I love the practical aspect of having it be use case driven. So Kyle, you must not have had a reason why you needed to use Perplexity in the last 3 months. So you just kind of let it autopilot. Somebody asks you, show me Perplexity, which by the way, is the same situation that I was in when I decided that I should try the Comet browser. I didn't take time to reorient myself to Perplexity. I'm basically using it like Google at this point. Like that's it. So we always have to like keep refining. Dang it, there was something I was going to say. Oh, it was about the legacy. So, Marlene has been watching you and binge watching. Maybe, it's like ASMR to go to sleep to sometimes. Then Marlene is teaching her. Yeah, exactly. And then Marlene is teaching her clients and her mentees. And then they're out in their communities and they're making money. Like think about the family tree. Like that's a legacy. That's a legacy. Good job. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. And I mean, thank you, Marlene, for I say this on the live a lot that the whole purpose of it is just to be in the conversation. And we talked earlier about Brandon making this custom GPT. We've all made dozens of custom GPTs over the year, but it's just going to be one small little sort of pebble in the pond that ripple's going to change someone's life. And so So yeah, I think that you stepping out of one kind of leadership role in education and into this new leadership role where you're taking your educational skills and kind of expanding them with this is really inspiring. So
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Really
I think you
is.
said that too. People who are in the field will be able to know how to talk to the large language model more effectively because you know the questions to ask, and you know exactly what to look for. So I can, if someone just come into, I'm going to build a curriculum, and they had no education experience, they won't know what to look for and how it's supposed to look like. You know, they might say think as an educator, but you don't know if the AI is actually doing it correctly. But if you are an educator, if you're a plumber, if you're a mechanic, you'll know exactly what you're looking for. You'll know exactly what words to use to get that output. And I always, as a math teacher, from a math teacher, I said input, what you input is what you're going to output. So if you put input garbage, you're going to get garbage out. So you need to make sure what you're inputting is quality, is robust, is deep. So yeah, it's a learning experience that people need to practice each and every day. You know, practice. You know.
Yeah, you need to practice it, right? I saw this thing on LinkedIn. It was 10,000 prompts is the new 10,000 hours. That just using the tools is how you understand how to get them to give you, valuable, useful stuff. So we ask all of our guests the same question. So it's come to that time of the show. So I'm going to ask you the question, and so it's quite a simple one. There's no wrong answers. But the question is this: what does AI readiness mean to you? And then what would you say to someone that's just, afraid of this, getting into it? You do it all the time, but unpack what that means to you and what you would say to someone new.
So AI readiness, and I like that word AI readiness because because of AI being overly evolving. I like the whole aspect of with the AI salon to play first. It's going in and playing with the tool, not taking it seriously, just being able to play with it so you can get that grasp of it, so you can understand it, and then you're able to learn how to use that AI tool more effectively, and then being in community with people that are learning the tools. So you're able to become more versed with it because I might come approach the AI one way, and then someone else come and approach it a different way. Now we take our ideas together and it becomes something great, something beautiful. So being AI ready is having that mindset of just playing with this tool, allowing it to guide you and allowing other people to guide you through the process. I don't know. It's like if someone who's not sure about AI, my whole thing is just get into community. Get into communities that are having that conversation. Because what's the scary part is if you don't have that conversation, and then you let someone else that dictate the direction of AI for you. You know,
right. AI happens to you rather than you happening to AI, right?
Exactly. You want to be. I guess it was when I went to the Create conference. I was in the room where it happened. I want to be in the room where it's happening.
Yeah, really good. And that's a great song for Hamilton too.
Yes, I love
which
that.
I think is important, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great answer. I love that answer, and
thank you.
I think that you're certainly preaching to the choir about community being important here, but it is, and I also I'm really glad that you shared that you're taking this to your community and people that might be afraid of this thing, and you're like, hey, let me walk you down the path a little bit where we humanize it, right? We take this thing that if you just listen to the Hollywood blockbusters, the robots are going to kill us and it is the devil. And you humanize it a bit and you say, hey, this is something that could actually help you. So I really appreciate you sharing that. It's quite inspiring.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Great.
Yep.
So tell everyone, so we want them to go check you out here, but tell us what you have going on, if there's any programs coming up that you want people to pay attention to or go buy, whatever it might be. Here's your shot. Shoot your shot.
Shoot my shot. So if you go to my website, we have a lot of things going on. Right now we have openings for the next cohort of interns for the springtime. I guess springtime's coming up, so they're able to join if you want a 16-week program where I work with the interns on AI foundations, and they're able to graduate with just with our program with a certificate saying, we trained them and they understand the foundations of AI, so they get a little credential that they can display on LinkedIn. We also have our AI summit that we host, and Shalid AI is our premier sponsor. And we have the replays up, so you can go in and join the school community where we're at, and you're able to see all the different speakers, all the different tools. We had it on November 15th, but it's not just stopping there. It's going to continue until the next one. So our hope is not just to tell you about AI, but build that community, and you're able to continue learning until the next summit, and then you can grow together, because you can't do this alone. So check out our website. All of that going to be on there. We might have other things going on, but those are the two main ones. I would love to connect with you. So reach me on there on LinkedIn. I am very personable. If I have a lot of people, if I don't get back with you quickly, it's because I had 100 people, but we will get back with you. And I like connecting. I love talking about and having conversations about AI and just helping people grow.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Marline, thank you so much for being here. It was awesome. Really nice to connect with you.
I said I have my dream come true now. Now, when I'm watching, I know him.
Love it. I love it.
Marline, we're not going to his. There's not enough room for his head.
I know.
It's
already large. This was awesome. Thank you so much, and yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. You're changing the world.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yep. I'll talk to you later this week.
Yes.